right, just wanted to weigh in on Doc Ock and how it looks and his kit and T4s and team combinations, whether I like him and what's going on with the bugs. And it's an understatement to say that it's a mixed bag. I'm generally underwhelmed by this guy, and right now I am holding off, and I'll explain why. First things first, the kit is bugged, and normally I'd rant about this, but I think we're going into an area of apathy at this point, and I'll explain. But Doc Ock passive applies offense down resistance to enemies, and this is 100% true. Video footage, everything, all of it. Basically, the way that it's supposed to work is that it's supposed to gain 10,000% resistance against offense down and all allies, but it's actually coded into the game under a global stats. And so this applies to your opponents. So this is a bug, and the way that it currently runs right now makes Doc Ock useless on a team with Ebony Maw or Yo-Yo or a team outside of Sinister Six. And also the way his T4s work, also kind of, unless you want to do all of them. It does still kind of work with Electro, because Electro has a very high boost right here. 100,000 focus for this attack. Now, keep in mind that 10,000% resistance is much greater than flat. And so most of the time, the offense downs are not sticking because of this bug. And so someone messaged me and said, how can this happen on a legendary character? And I was thinking about that, and I was like, yeah, how can this happen on a legendary character? But I don't want to pick on all the past releases, because I was doing that with Reminex last night on stream, and we were going through like the last 20 or 30 new releases. I want to say 60-70% of the characters that come out are bugged. But let's just look at the top row of these legendary characters on the screen right here. Black Bolt, passive. In my understanding, it's still bugged. Invisible Woman, when she came out, she required the wrong kind of gear. I believe it was Mystic gear, and what should have been Bio, and they had to refund that. Phoenix is her ultimate and her non-summon and her main form is still not coded correctly. This is still not coded correctly right here. It says %, but it's flat. Still bugged. Or typoed, whatever you want to call it. Then, Shuri, for the longest time, the passive was worded wrong, and it said Wakanda as far as the deflects right here. And they finally just fixed it where it said when self or any ally, for a while, the longest time it said Wakanda, and they checked it. Bugged. Ebony Maw, his special was bugged, where if you targeted someone with low health, it stopped going to the rest of the team. Like if you kill on the first hit. All 5 of these characters in the top row right here were bugged on launch, and they're legendary characters. And Doc Ock is bugged as well. So that's not great. If we think about all of the recent legendaries have come out broken in some way or another. All right, well, I think there's 2 camps of people. People that are annoyed by this, and the other groups of people that are like, well, I'm free to play. They have good communication. They fix things correctly. And typically when there's bugs, we get free stuff. What I'm worried about is there's a lot of people that are spending money on this game to get exclusivity and giving new characters first. And all they're getting is broken characters. And so I kind of wonder about the economy of the game, where if the people that are willing to buy and spend and get all these new characters are going to be frustrated that all they're getting is broken, buggy characters first, and they don't even work right when they spend all this money to get them first, and they don't work correctly. Fine. Let's talk about Doc Ock and his summons and how that works. Now, we weren't sure how it was going to work. We thought it was going to work like Mr. Sinister, but it doesn't. Basically, he's typically going to just clone Shocker, right? Like if he's on a non-Sinister 6 team. And the T4 that you put here on the special will apply to Shocker. If you do the T4 on the special, the ultimate, it'll apply to the special on Shocker. If you do the passive, it'll apply to the passive on Shocker. So we were hoping that it would work like Mr. Sinister, where you just do it, or Nick Fury, or any of them, where you just do the special and then you would have a fully 7775. No. So what that means is if you want to have an optimal amount of stats on your clone, you pretty much have to do 3 T4s. And I don't want to poo-poo this team entirely because, yes, some of my alliance mates, big shout out to Jimmy, is getting good results. Right here was a 470 Sinister 6 team, basically punching up against Mercenaries. Now, it's kind of a strange team because it had ultimates. I think it may have gone down differently if it was a Shuri team. I don't know, but anyways, let's just say that's still impressive. But at what cost? How many T4s? And I'm just going to say this right now. This is a team right now that Electro and Swarm are not farmable. I personally rather be putting T4s and taking to Gear 14 a team that is farmable, like X-Force. Like I'm starting to work on my X-Force. Like yesterday, I took Teenage Warhead to 14 and X22 to 14 because they're farmable. I'll get them to 7 gold. And I'm thinking about putting T4s on that team now. This team right here, I don't know how many T4s it's going to take to be functional. And I'm really, really personally skeptical if a team takes more than 4 or 5. And based on the math that I'm seeing, it looks like it's going to be 7 or so. At least 7 to make this team just work where it should be able to punch up. Now, I'm fully expecting it to work well in war. But that's the other point, is for what? If Doc Ock is not going to be functional, and right now he's not functional outside of a Sinister 6 team, it's a total waste. And I'm looking at the T4s on Doc Ock, and I'm going, okay. All right, so I want to put the T4 on this. How is that going to affect Shocker? Well, that getting the T4 on him only benefits on a Sinister 6 team, and technically that T4 really doesn't do anything on a non-Sinister 6 team. I mean, all these T4s are going to be for war. So I guess it's coming down to is like, how important do I think war is? And I just don't see this team being amazing unless you have high gold and high reds on Electro and Swarm, which is just not going to happen unless I was willing to spend Ungali's amount of money to get all of them up all the way, like some people will do. And it's not even working correctly right now. You really can't get the optimal benefit right now with Electro and Doc Ock because of the kit being bugged. So, is this Wakandans 2.0? I don't want to go that far. I don't want to say that. I'm saying that there's a lot of risk right here, given that there's a total of 8 Sinister 6 characters in a team of 5. You have so many different combinations of what's going to work. And we don't even know what the optimal team configuration is. Should I be putting in T4s into Rhino? What if Rhino is not the best team? Should I be putting T4s in Mysterio? I don't know, man. In Black Order match, those deflects get flipped by Thanos. I don't know if I want to get into it with Mysterio. What if the team is with Vulture and not with Rhino because you want to go really fast and get all of it? What I'm trying to say is the number of T4s that this team is going to work correctly, and the risk of me putting T4s on the wrong character is very high right now. If I put a bunch of T4s into Rhino and it turns out the optimal build is not Rhino, then what? Because I know a lot of people are saying, oh, let's do the Rhino hide passive. I'm going to sit back and wait and see. I'm personally much more interested in X-Force right now, in optimizing my X-Force team. And I know that's old news, but they're farmable. And I can get them up and running and putting T4s, where this team right here is pure speculation if it's working. It's bugged currently, and the number of T4s it's going to take is astronomical. What, for an amazing war offense team? I got, if I'm going to be dumping all these T4s into Doc Ock, man, I want to be able to use them in the arena or somewhere. And right now, it doesn't look that way. So in general, I'm unimpressed. And I know it's too early to tell because the kid is bugged. So this could be like Thanos and Black Order. But the upside to Thanos and Black Order is that Thanos and Ebony Maw are usable in U7 and Dark Dimension 3, and Black Order dominates the arena. But what I'm saying by how it's similar to Black Order is that it took so many T4s and all of them at 14 to work correctly. You know, how many T4s and how many 14s are going to be necessary for us to get this truly impressive Sinister Six team? And the risk of putting it on the wrong one, because we've got all these extra choices, you know, Green Goblin, Rhino, Mysterio, Vulture, which one should I be working on? Oh man, no way. And for what? Just an amazing war team? I mean, there's no chance this team is going to be amazing in arena from the way I see it right now. I could be wrong, but I am no longer putting T4s into this team. I'm not taking them to 14. I'm going to wait and see. And if there's a situation where I can put a modest amount of T4s into this team, I'm talking like 4 or 5, then I might go. I might greenlight this team. But right now, I don't want this to be Wakandans. There are some people that continue dumping T4s into Wakandans to try to make it work, and it just didn't. I'm going to sit back and wait. So, I'm just blown away that it's bugged. I'm blown away. All right, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you've seen something different than what I've seen, like this team just running over Black Order in war, or this team running over Marauders in war with a minimal amount of T4s and without a astronomical investment into these two, Electro and Swarm. I'd like to see that. Put it down in the comment section. And as always, guys, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.